What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Zone Coverage Podcast. Me and Willie here. We took us a bye week ourselves. Sorry about that. But we're back now. And I guess we might as well go ahead and cover some of the games that we missed. Willie, you want to talk about the Kentucky and Missouri game for us?
As much as I hate to, I will. I can't say I didn't see it coming. I figured we'd take an ass whooping. We usually do after we get these big letdown games like we did against Georgia. So I kind of called it on our last podcast. I'm just so disappointed that our team still can't get it together after those big games like that. It's just been a reoccurring thing ever since Mark Stoops has got here, and it strikes again this year.
Man, I really feel for you. I'll be honest. Whenever y'all went up 14-0, I was like, okay, this is probably over. And at that point, I just almost full blown checked out. I was like, yep, that's probably it. Missouri storms back. Definitely upsetting. To be honest, I predicted y'all to win. Predicted you to win this one. I kind of figured that, coming off that loss to Georgia, it would maybe kind of maybe put some fire in the belly of you guys. So it's definitely disappointing to see. Missouri's a really solid team, though. I mean, they've looked great up until this point. 7-1 on the year, so they're playing really good football. So I mean, it's nothing really to hang your head about, but at the same time, definitely understand your disappointment. That's a pretty upsetting loss.
Yeah, we are in a void of depression right now.
Man, I've lived here the last few seasons as a Gator fan. That's just kind of the way life is, at this point. But man, Florida, we show up, come into Columbia, get the win over South Carolina, which I'm super happy for. Don't get me wrong. The offense, impressed me extremely. I was super surprised by how well we played. So I was happy with that on the offensive side of the ball. As far as defense goes, I'll be honest, I was almost pulling my hair out. We gave up, final score was 41-39, give up 39 points. So that was pretty upsetting, especially South Carolina being like bottom tier SEC team. They had high hopes come in this year. They've not looked great. But nonetheless, still very happy to come in, especially on the road like that, as bad as we've looked on the road and just not being able to win road games. We just look like a totally different team for whatever reason. So to come out there, get that win, I think that builds confidence. Then we have the bye week. Now we have Georgia to play this weekend. So hopefully that builds some confidence. Hopefully we're scheming up a good game plan against those old nasty dogs. And we'll see come this weekend.
Yeah. Right now, DraftKings has y'all as a 14.5 point underdog, even though you're at home, which I picked you guys to cover that. I think it'll be a lot closer than what a lot of people think. This Georgia, they haven't been consistent, I don't feel like. I know they whoop, I mean, for lack of better words, they whooped the shit out of us when we went down there and played them. But I think you guys can put up a fight, especially if you're in Gainesville.
Well, dude, the game's actually going to be played in Jacksonville at the neutral site. So I feel like it's kind of split. So it's like, it kind of feels like a home game for us, but they're usually kind of split down the middle with that. They've really talked about going back to the home and home. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't hate it. It's not a terrible idea. But
So
at
you
the
guys
same
playing
time,
in the Jaguar Stadium?
I think so.
That's cool.
But yeah, man, I hope that we come out and at least make it respectable. Like if we come out and they just blow us away, it's going to be pretty disappointing. I can't lie. I don't really expect us to win, if I'm being brutally honest. I mean, we're just not there yet. We've still got a lot of ways to go to kind
Do
of
you
be able
think
to compete.
you cover the 2 touchdowns?
I think we do. To To be honest, I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. It's a rivalry game. I mean, the hatred between Florida and Georgia is almost unmatched, you know. So I do think, personally, I feel like we cover. I do think that we cover that. I can see it being a lot closer. I hope that we keep it close. Obviously, I would love a win. That would be massive, man, to beat Georgia, number one team, as much as we hate them. That'd be so satisfying. But we'll see.
I'd love to
Um,
see it.
I would love to see it too, man. I'm trying not to be too hopeful, just to get my hopes up. You know, I'm trying to keep it realistic because we're, like I said, we're not there yet. But I do think we're going to play a lot better than people give us credit for. Like, I think that we're going to come in there and take the punches and give some back. So I think that we're going to come out. I really hope that the bye week, which what kind of hurts us is Georgia also is coming off a bye. So they have that same advantage, I guess. But I really hope that we come out, make it respectable. Even a respectable loss, I think, at this point is, I mean, I know they say um, kind of not to hang your hat on that and no moral victories. But at the same time, just for the future of this program, obviously I want to win. I definitely do. But if you come in there, respectable loss, I think that's a good starting point. Because if you come in there, get blown out, get just obliterated, like, I mean, I feel like that hurts recruiting and everything,
Yeah, like
which
just do anything but what we did. Just anything.
that's a painful one, man. I thought y'all would definitely keep it closer than you did when you guys played. I really thought it was going to be a lot closer than that.
I swear, these last two podcasts we've done, I sound like a Kentucky hater, but I swear to God I'm not. I just want to call it the way I see it. I don't know. I know it sounds bad. It's like depressing every episode from what I say, but honest to God, what can you say about these last 2 weeks?
You got to keep it realistic, That's kind of where I'm at. Is I'm trying to stay as realistic as I possibly can with things. Like this year, I'll be honest. At this point in the season, the Gators have kind of exceeded my expectations. Like, I want to say that we were projected at like 5.5 wins on the year. I mean, we're sitting at 5 already at mid-season. So, like, maybe that's nothing to brag about. But, like, if we can, man, if we can get to 8-4, which I know we still have a pretty rough go left. I mean, on the season, we still have Georgia, obviously, this weekend, Arkansas at home, LSU on the road, Missouri on the road, and then Florida State at home. So it's tough sledding. Really, no easy matchups left. But man, we're getting there. I think that next season is going to be a big step up. If our schedule wasn't so brutal, I'd probably feel a lot more confident. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the future of the Florida program, and I think we're going to get there. I think Billy's the guy. I think it just takes time. A lot of Gator fans want to run him off, start losing games, and they're like, "Oh, get him out of here." But you've got to give him some time. You got to have patience. I think we're going to be fine. It's just going to take time. We got a huge commitment this weekend. LJ McCray. He's actually the number one D line in the 2024 class. That's massive. Just to add to the class that we already have, we're ranked third currently in 2024 in recruiting. I hope that we're able to keep that class together because, man, we've got some dogs coming in next season. But moving on from that, Virginia stuns North Carolina and Chapel Hill. Honestly, I was just stunned. Like, completely shocked me. I was actually eating that mellow mushroom. We had went to the pumpkin patch, and on our way home, we stopped to get something to eat. And I actually asked the waitress, I was like, can I change the channel? Because I can't remember. They had some other game on that I wasn't super interested in. And she gave me the remote, so I turned the game on. And, I was just sitting there chilling. Didn't expect Virginia to win. And then the closer it got, I was like, oh my God, is this actually going to happen? And sure enough, dude. I mean, Virginia coming in as I think they were a 1-5 team. And this is their first win versus a top 10 team in program history. Like, massive for them. Like, let's just give a round of applause for Virginia.
Yeah.
like, super impressive stuff.
These basketball schools over the last few weeks have really, they started out hot, like us, Duke, North Carolina,
Yeah.
maybe even Kansas, I'm not sure.
Kansas been playing good.
Duke, they lost this weekend, and you got UNC, they, obviously lost, like you said. So it's definitely a back-to-earth moment for the basketball schools now that basketball season has almost started.
Getting back to their roots.
Yeah. Remember who we are.
Yeah. But, man, I'll be honest, I was blown away. Like I said, the closer it got and the realer it got, I was like, oh my God, Virginia's going to win. And then when they did, I was stunned. I was probably just as stunned as everybody else was.
So did North Carolina have a good crowd that game?
Yeah. I mean, dude, the stadium's rocking. Like, I know that's gotta be rough and super unexpected. I mean, if you told me anybody was like, "Oh yeah, Virginia's going to just waltz into Chapel Hill and beat North Carolina, who was ranked 10," little 1-5 Virginia, who got absolutely obliterated by Tennessee at the beginning of the season, I would probably laughed at you.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have believed that. So
I wish our crystal ball would have picked that one up. I tell you what, I had a terrible weekend of sports betting.
oh no,
Absolutely horrendous. Starting out with the Arkansas game, I bet Arkansas. They end up losing. I think it was maybe a field goal, 4 points or something like that.
yeah,
They scooped and scored with like 3 minutes left, and it got called back because the offense was offside. They didn't get set, so the whole play was dead, even though Arkansas scored on defense.
dude, I hate that. I hate when stuff like that happens,
And
especially
then,
when it's my team.
yeah, and then you got Iowa. They can't score, and their defense didn't show up this weekend, so double whammy.
Yeah, well, I remember the Arkansas game, final score 7-3. I was like, this was just an upsetting one. This was just disappointing. I feel like the score was 7-3 for the whole game. Like
Yeah, it's the worst thing I've ever watched. I swear.
it was bad. I remember before we left on Saturday, I had the game on and I was watching it, and I wasn't super invested, but it was 7-3 before we left, and then the final score ended up being 7-3, and I was like, good Lord, this was just must have been a defensive game or just a pathetic offensive
Pathetic
game.
offense.
Pathetic offense.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. Man, let's talk about Tennessee and Alabama. What about that, dude? I really thought Tennessee had them. They had them on the ropes.
Honestly, I would like to see either of those teams lose, but I can't have the Tennessee Volunteer fans have that win. I can't have it. It would be too obnoxious, and it's disgusting, to be honest with you, to think about what would have been said and the way these fans would have acted if they pulled that off.
Yeah. If they would have got 2 in a row over Bama, beat Bama at home this year, I thought
Yeah.
it was a done deal there for a minute. Was it 20-7 or 21-7 at half?
Oh yeah, and at that
Something
point,
like
I'm
that.
looking on Facebook and I'm finding all my Tennessee friends. Then I'm like blocking them already. Like I'm ready to go.
I don't blame you one bit. Dude, it would have been bad. You wouldn't have been able to tell them nothing. It would have been it.
Yeah, they don't win
But,
another game the whole year. Well, we beat Alabama.
dude, I swear it's every Tennessee fan. That's disappointing though. Final score 34-20. Bama's like, you thought you had me. Nick Saban was like, you know what? He rubs his hands together at half.
Yeah, it's time to remember who we are.
Yeah. It's like they thought I was done.
Yeah, it
They
breaks
wrote
out the
me off.
cigar and everything.
Yep. Man, I swear, I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I dislike Tennessee as much as the next person, so definitely didn't want to see them get a win like that over Bama. And that's just another East team taking a L. So I'm all for that. But yeah, man, Alabama storms back, gets the win, pretty satisfying.
Yeah, I
South
had
Carolina,
definitely a smug grin after that game.
yeah,
I love it.
you love to see it.
Love to see it.
So this game here makes me very disappointed, just because of the way that our game played out. South Carolina gets absolutely shut down by Missouri. Final score 34-12. Is it
Yeah.
time to start talking about Missouri as a legitimate contender? Like,
All hail Missouri, bro. My goodness.
I would have never expected it. And when I say contender, I'm not saying they're going to play in the college football playoff or anything like that, but at least a contender for the East. Like they're sitting at second in the East right now. And dude, I mean,
Have they played Georgia yet? Do they
they
play
have
them?
Georgia not this weekend, but next.
Ooh, that's gonna be a game.
I'll definitely be tuning into that one. So, man, I'll be honest. Like I said, the South Carolina loss, or the South Carolina win, excuse me, looks a lot less impressive now. Now that Missouri comes out and just blows the doors off of them. 34-12 final score. It pains me in a sense for for allowing them to score 39 on us. Which, like I said, I'm going to take the win. I'm going to be happy with it. So, you live, you learn. Got to move on to Georgia, big week. But yeah, Missouri is really kind of at this point in the season being like put some respect on our name.
Yeah, they've earned it for sure. Another team who's definitely earned a little bit of respect, I think, in my opinion, is just by the way they played Georgia, is probably Vanderbilt.
Dude, I'm so glad you brought that up because it would have slipped my mind. We were not here to talk about this last week, but I can't remember if I called you or you called me, but me and Willie were on the phone and we were just like horse laughing about the fact that Vandy was in it, and we were like, dude, we got to delete the podcast. It's like, dude, they were in it, especially when he
Did they
threw.
lead at one point? I can't remember. I feel like it's like
I
7-0
think,
or something, Vanderbilt.
yeah, I think so. I remember when Carson Beck threw the pick six, or well, I don't think it was pick six. I think like he was down to one or something. He made a tackle, but at that point, I was like, dear God,
They're gonna do it.
if this dude, I swear to God, if Vanderbilt beat Georgia, I'd have lost my mind. I'd been in it.
Old Vanderbilt, son.
Oh, Vanderbilt would have pulled it off. I lost my mind. I'd been
That
it
would
for
have been
me.
it. Yeah. Oh man, Vanderbilt has Ole Miss this weekend.
Oh, Miss. I'm not counting them out no more. Not after what I've seen. They beat us both last season. So you got to watch
They're
out for a Vanderbilt.
yeah, they're getting no respect either. DraftKings has them as a 24.5 point underdog.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Absolutely disrespectful. But yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up because I wanted to talk about that as well. I was shocked. I thought it was going to be what I predicted 59-0.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be bad.
We
Then they
were
come
just
out there.
predicting the end of the program, basically.
Yeah. And then Vanderbilt comes out and makes it a game. They made it interesting for sure.
They, I mean, that's movie shit right there. They win that game. That's Hollywood.
If they won that game, dude, I think the world would have just burned. That would have been it.
It's Rudy part two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So close. I would have been so happy.
Oh man.
Utah beats USC 34-32. We'll move on to
USC
that
has to
game.
stop making me lose money. I'm getting sick of their stuff, man.
Dude, they got to stop something.
They
I
gotta
don't know
stop
what.
taking the L, man.
They got to stop something.
And I always end up accidentally watching them too because I'm up at ungodly hours and that's when they're playing on the West Coast. So, and it's the only thing on, and then I'm bored, and then I put money on the game, I lose. And it's sick.
Man, it almost feels like Utah has their number here now. I want to say this is the third straight win for them over USC. Maybe they just have their number. I mean, and Utah's. I'm speaking from experience. Our first game of the year was on the road at Utah. They they humbled me real quick. So they're definitely a really solid football team, and they're playing without their starting quarterback, who's an absolute stud in Cam Rising. So I mean, they stepped up. So Oklahoma barely holds off UCF this weekend. I'll be honest, there for the towards the end of the game, I was like, okay, like I hate UCF anyways. They won a bowl game over us a couple years ago, and they ain't shut up since. So I surely didn't want them to get a win over the number 6 team in the nation. But
That was at Oklahoma too, wasn't it?
it was home game for Oklahoma,
That's
and
scary.
it was definitely a scare. Man, it was close. They just barely they hold them off. They're able to get the win there. Oklahoma has to play Kansas on the road this weekend, and Kansas beat UCF 51-22. Just throwing it out there. Like I know that it doesn't always add up any given Saturday, but does that
Yeah.
line Kansas up for an upset over Oklahoma? We
Well,
shall see.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I'm picking the upset. That's my upset of the week. I'm going Kansas over Oklahoma. It's a noon game on Saturday,
Oh,
and
that's a good time.
I don't think they're going to get up for it. I think Kansas is going to win.
I like it, dude. We need to make that a thing. Upset of the week. That needs to be a segment.
Hey, I'm down.
I love it. That needs to be a segment.
Most of them would be like Kentucky over Alabama. A surefire thing.
I hope y'all beat Alabama. I wouldn't write
That'd
y'all
be
off
cool.
yet. You never know. Crazier things have happened.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. All the stars will have to align.
And y'all have some pretty rough sledding coming up. Got Tennessee this weekend, Alabama following weekend.
Yeah, I mean we're looking at 0-4 after beating y'all.
Good Lord. Well, let's hope not.
I'm just hoping we get a ball game at this point.
Y'all are sitting at what, 5-2?
So, yeah, 5-2.
Same record as us.
You got Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi State, I think, and then Louisville left. Pretty sure.
I think at the very least, you got South Carolina on there too, right? On the
No, I got
road.
South Carolina. Yeah, on the road. I already wrote that one off. I forgot about
you
it.
just went ahead and put a big X on that one. You said we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Hey, if we can beat them, y'all can beat them.
Well, maybe I'm hoping that by the time we play them, they've given up on their season, and we just go in there and beat them.
Man, Shane Beamer, needs to get it together, breaking feet and God knows what all.
Yeah. He might have a broke neck time we get down there.
Man, the Gamecock fans are having a rough time. They're 2-5 on the year.
Good for them. You know what? It couldn't happen to a nicer fan base, man. Look,
Dude,
I just want to tell you, I hate them bastards, man. It's not even football related. It's just basketball, man. Every time we go down there, Calipari gets thrown out of the building, and then they win by like 6 points, and they rush the court, and you hear, "Wah! Wah!" You know, they got that stupid bird, dude. It's the most
Dude, I'm
annoying
telling
thing
you,
in college sports.
it's bad. Sir Big Spur. Dude, they counted their chickens, no pun intended, whenever we were playing them. I was so happy, dude, because they were gator chomping. The whole crowd was gator chomping, getting into it. They were up 10 in the fourth quarter. Dude, when I tell you it was so satisfying to get that win, like whenever we came back, got the win, I saw a clip of a Gator fan that was gator chomping back at them
Yeah.
at the end of the game, and there was some South Carolina fan in the stands that was just tore all to pieces. Like somebody was holding him back, and he was like just screaming at the top of his lungs. They're passionate, I guess. Give them that.
Yeah, yeah. I just imagine he's screaming, and the only thing coming out is "Wah! Ah!"
Dude, Summer um, went, which is my fiance. She went to South Carolina a couple years ago to a game when y'all played them on the road, and she said that some of the fans that she encountered were brutal. Like she said, one of them, like I don't know why, this is one of my favorite things that she's ever told me. I don't know why, it just cracks me up. But she said there was, I guess he was just some drunk Carolina fan that was sitting like behind him or something, and he was like, "What's in Kentucky? A lake?" It's so stupid. It makes no sense, but it was like hilarious at the time she told me. Like I don't know, they're wild, dude.
Jesus Christ. You know, I put them up there at number two, most hated for me, I think.
Number two,
Number two most hated. You got Tennessee and South Carolina.
I can't say they're not up there on me, especially with Spencer Rattler. I've just ever since he beat us in the Cotton Bowl and Trask's last year, 2020, I've had some resentment towards him ever since. And it feels good to beat him. Any chance we get to beat Spencer Rattler, South Carolina, it just warms my soul, warms my heart. It just puts me in a good mood. So Florida State and Duke, man, Willie, I know this probably pains you to hear me say it, but dude, I was a Duke fan this weekend. My team was on a bye, son. I was
You
rooting
know,
for him.
honestly, I thought they had a chance, but then I was like, well, they're going to get down there and they're going to be in the locker room before they come out, and the fans are, oh, you ain't going to hear all that shit. And they're going to be in the locker room, and they're like, man, we should be in like math class or something. What are we doing here? You know, it's just Duke. You know, they remembered who they were this weekend, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, man, they kept it close for a long time. Duke's quarterback Riley Leonard goes down, and literally, dude, it's almost like as soon as he went out of the game, Florida State was they just wreaked havoc, and that was it. They just ran all over them, made them look soft as toilet paper, and it was disappointing for sure because Duke was definitely in it up until there towards the end, and that makes Florida State 7-0 on the year. Saw that is their first time being 7-0 since 2014, I think it was. So that's very disappointing for me as a Gator fan to see. So looking forward to that matchup in Gainesville this year.
I feel like that had big playoff like implications that game did. Right now, I'm thinking you probably got Georgia, Florida State, maybe Ohio State and Michigan in the playoff.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I don't like that, but I agree with that. As far as that's probably who I would take. Man, Michigan has been running all over people. They've steamrolled everyone they played.
Yeah, they're looking good. I'm glad we don't have to play them.
Dude, me too. Florida State, dude. I mean, their remaining schedule, they have Wake Forest this weekend. That's an away game. They have Pittsburgh on the road, Miami at home, North Alabama at home, and then they play my Gators in Gainesville to close out the year.
I worry about Pittsburgh if I'm them. Who did they beat? Pittsburgh
They
beat
beat
Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, they're no pushover. That's for sure.
So if they, dude, I would love to see it. So honestly, as much as it pains me to say it, dude, it's possible that they finish the year undefeated. I mean, possibly drop one. I hope to God that we beat them. That would be satisfying, especially if it knocked them out of the playoffs, which I don't know if they'd still get in with a loss, but especially if it knocked them out, that would be so satisfying, dude.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
But I don't see. Sorry, go ahead.
I think Louisville's ranked 18 now after they got beaten by Pittsburgh, and that was kind of my dream was to knock Louisville out of the playoff or something crazy like that. But
Yeah,
they knocked themselves out. So
we still may have to go and watch the Kentucky Louisville game in Louisville this year. I'll have to check into that one. I was looking at tickets the other day.
fist fight a dirty bird.
That's right. All right, so jumping into some quick picks. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it with the Florida Georgia game in Jacksonville, world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Massive, massive game. If I'm being realistic, I think we're going to win. Not necessarily, but ain't no way possible that I can pick Georgia to beat us. I ain't got it in me. I ain't going to do it. So I am going to take Florida 28-24. Go Gators. We're gonna see.
Yeah, I think y'all have a shot at winning.
Don't sugarcoat it, Willie.
Yeah, I don't see it being a blowout, but I'm gonna take Georgia by 10.
That's respectable. I definitely don't hate it. And honestly, losing by 10, I mean, no moral victories, but losing by 10 isn't the worst thing in the world. Now, if they come out and absolutely obliterate us, then I'm going to be pretty sad. And next week's show is going to be depressing. But
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm pumped for it. I'm trying to be optimistic, but not too optimistic because I don't want to get my hopes up. But we'll see. Then we have Tennessee at Kentucky.
speaking of depressing.
Not to pour salt in the wound, but the way that it's been between Kentucky and Tennessee here in recent years, Tennessee's looking pretty good. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that Kentucky pulls it out. I think I'm going to take Tennessee by a touchdown. Give me Tennessee 27-20.
I'm hoping against all hope that Kentucky comes out and just is a different team than what they've been playing like the last few weeks, and just destroys a Rocky Top. But I don't see it happening. Honestly, DraftKings has more, I guess, more confidence in us than I do. Right now, we're sitting at a 3.5 point under as a 3.5 point underdog for the game, which to me screams free money. So if I didn't have any morals, I'd go ahead and bet Tennessee to beat us by more than that. But I
You can't do it.
can't let myself do it.
You can't
Um,
do it.
I'm going to take. No, no, I can't do it. I can't pick Tennessee. No, it's Kentucky by a field goal.
I like it. That's what I'm saying, dude. I can't. I'm sorry. I try to be as realistic as possible when making these picks, but when it comes to Georgia, I can't do it. I can't pick Georgia to beat us. I'm not saying I think that we're definitely going to win, but I can't pick against us. Not against them.
No, let's see. I can pick against Kentucky. I can't pick Tennessee to beat us. Like
Can't do it.
I don't care if they're an NFL team and we're like some high school team. I'm still picking us.
Let's go. I love it. That's me. That's my mindset. Like we play anyone else other than Georgia, Florida State, I'm going to be realistic, but Which at the same time, man, I think it's possible. It's a rivalry game. Crazier things have happened. I think that we may come in there and shock some people. Is it likely? Not really. But, we'll see. I'm hopeful.
Same for me. Same for me.
We also have Oregon at Utah. This game, man, I'll be honest with you, I could see it going either way. I really don't know what I'm feeling because Utah hasn't lost at home in a very long time. Oregon is it's ranked 8. Oregon versus ranked 13 Utah. I think it's going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to be a super close game. I've went back and forth so much with it. But so the last year Oregon won by a field goal at home. This year, you know what? I think Oregon's going to get it done. I'm going to take Oregon. I think I'm going to take Oregon by a touchdown. And I'm going to say 34-24. Or actually, I'm going to take Oregon by 10. Sorry, excuse me. 34-24 is what I think I'm going to predict.
That's pretty close to what DraftKings has right now. Oregon sits as a 6.5 point favorite over Utah. Uh, the game being at Utah kind of scares me for Oregon. I don't know what it is. It's just about it's college football. It's the atmosphere. It's it's everything. I feel like if you made me pick, I'm picking Oregon to win. I, I don't know if they cover the touchdown spread though. I think they're going to probably win by a field goal. There's a lot of close games this week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. But I could see that too. I could see it being much closer. But we shall see. Moving on to Duke and Louisville. This one I think is going to be a lot of fun. It's
I
too.
don't know if it could get even. It could get any more gross.
I was literally going to say two teams Willie hates. I don't know if you can pick this one. You might just have to skip on this one. I think Duke pulls it out. What are we looking like on the spread for that one, Willie? Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah, Louisville's going to be a 4 point favorite in this game.
4 point favorite? I think it should be more than that. It is at Louisville, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Duke to cover that. I think Duke wins by a touchdown. Give me Duke. I'm going to say let's say 28-21.
I like that. If it was basketball, I'd pick Louisville, but since it's football, I'm going Duke by a touchdown. And either way, I win because one of these teams lose.
Yeah, one of them loses. That's how
Yeah.
I feel. Dude, if I swear to God, if I have to see a Florida State versus Georgia playoff matchup, I don't know if I can watch it. I mean, who am I going to root for? Can they both lose?
This is gross.
It's absolutely disgusting. We also have Ohio State and Wisconsin playing. That should be a fun one. I don't think Wisconsin's going to match up well with Ohio State, though. I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win for the Buckeyes. It is on the road, so you never know. But what are we looking like for the spread on that one?
So right now, it's got Ohio State as a 14.5 point favorite.
14.5 point favorite. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'll be honest, I think they cover. I do. I don't think it's close. I think it's probably going to be somewhere around. I'm going to say 38-20. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a comfortable win.
I think I like that score. 38-20 sounds about right. It's 14.5 point favorite, even though they're at Wisconsin. So that goes to show you that Vegas has absolutely no confidence in Wisconsin having any shot at pulling this out. So
Zero respect.
yeah, they get no respect, and honestly, I don't know if they deserve it, to be honest with you. So I'm going to pick Ohio State to just absolutely demolish this team.
I agree. Virginia and Miami, dude. What do we think? Can they do it twice? Can they upset twice? Which I mean, beat Miami isn't nearly as with all disrespect intended, isn't isn't nearly as big of an accomplishment as beating North Carolina at this point. So crazier things have happened. I hope Virginia wins. Do I think they do? Sadly, I don't. I do think Miami beats them. I think the joy and the happiness and the little Cinderella story, which I don't even know if you can really call it that. It was one win, but I mean, it was massive, dude. It was a massive win.
Yeah, it's still cool.
I think it comes to an end, though. I think they kind of get knocked back down a few pegs. I think Miami beats them. I'm gonna say Miami's gonna win this one. I think I'll go 34-17.
34-17. That sounds about right. Right now, Vegas has it as Miami a 19-point favorite against Virginia. So I'm going to take Miami, of course, on this one. But if Virginia were to pull this out, it would be just a dream run for the school. It's absolutely crazy. Back-to-back weekends on the road, pulling out big wins. But I think the dream ends here.
I agree, dude. It'd be massive if they somehow went on the road, beat Miami as well, back to back weeks. That'd be absolutely insane. But yeah, I don't think it happens. Hope it happens, but when it comes down to it, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna actually pull that off.
No, not 2 weeks in a row. I don't even think they cover the spread. I think they're going to get beat by more than 19, to be honest with you.
Painful. We also have number 24 USC. I'm going to be honest, don't think they should be ranked.
Me,
but who am I to say? They're playing on the road against Cal. I think they win this one. I think they bounce back and win this one. What's the spread looking like on that one?
right now they're a 10.5-point favorite.
10.5. I think that sounds about right. I don't hate that one bit. To be honest with you, I think I'm going to go somewhere around, let's say, you know what? I'm going to say 34-23.
Yeah, that sounds about right. To be honest with you, I'll probably end up watching this game because that's just how it goes. But I hope California wins because I'm tired of USC just costing me endless amounts of money.
It's
And
time to pick against them.
yeah, I think it's time to pick California. Right now the money line's at plus 360, so I think it's time to go ahead and pick California to win. Put like $5 in there and try to win like 25 or something.
That's tempting. And dude, at this point in the year, with the way things have kind of played out, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be too shocked.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean they're already on the slide, and I don't know what has California done. I'm not even going to act like I know what they're up to.
I don't feel like they've been super impressive so far. If I'm being brutally honest, no disrespect to them. Right now, it looks like they're sitting on a 3-4 record, which
That's better than I thought.
I mean isn't terrible, but they got absolutely smoked by Utah the week prior, 34-14. So I do think USC wins this one, but like I said, dude, you never know. It's college football, and you get in Saturday. All right, so we also have Oklahoma playing at Kansas. Like I said when we were talking earlier about Oklahoma and Kansas, I think that maybe an upset's brewing here. But
Yeah, I think it's going to be the upset of the week right there.
upset of the week. What's the spread looking like on that one?
Kansas is a 10-point underdog at Kansas.
Dude, that might be some money making right there.
Yeah, honestly, I think definitely they cover the 10
I do
points.
too. I do too. Not only do I think they cover, I think they win.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Kansas by field goal.
I'm going to piggyback off that. I think Kansas by a field goal. It's Rock Chalk Jayhawk, and they're celebrating in the streets up there in Kansas.
That's right. You love to see it. Let's say a final score of 24-21.
Yeah. I mean, it's a noon game. It just sets up too perfect.
I agree with you, man. I really think that I don't know why it just feels I feel so confident in it. So I'm going to look like an idiot when it don't happen when we get back on here next week. But I swear, dude, I hope I can come back next week and say I told you so. Not to you, but
Just
just in
everybody else.
general.
Yeah.
Really, mostly to myself. But
Well, you know what? I'm going to go even further. This is financial advice. Bet everything you have on Kansas and thank me later.
He said everything you have. Oh god, that's
Most people are
great.
like, this is not financial advice, This is financial advice. Disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor, and the information contained on this podcast is not a substitute for the financial advice from a professional who is aware of the facts and circumstances of your individual situation. Please gamble responsibly. Thank you.
Oh gosh, you love to see it. We also have Florida State playing on the road against Wake Forest. As much as it pains me to say this, I think Florida State wins that game. I think they win it pretty comfortably. I'm going to say final score 31-17.
Let's see. Wake Forest right now is a 20.5 point underdog to Florida State. It's a road game for Florida State. I think they're going to win by 18 points. I don't think they cover the 20-point spread.
I don't think they do either. I don't think they do either. I could be wrong. Definitely been wrong in the past, but
We were probably wrong in the last game, but
I hope they lose though.
no,
Those semen
it
hoes.
would. It would be cool to see the two top 10 teams go down like that, though.
Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for the madness, son. I want to see it all. Give me every bit of it. Who's Vandy playing this week? Do they get a bye week? They were playing Ole Miss, and I completely forgot. It
Oh yeah,
completely
yeah.
slipped my mind.
They got another ass whooping up this weekend, so
Come on, Vanderbeat. Need them to pull through, pull off the upset against old Lane Kiffin, old golf ball head.
I think Ole Miss probably runs away with it. To be honest with you, 24 points seems like a very conservative spread for Ole Miss.
Now, Willie, let's not be ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding. What have we
Let's get
learned?
serious on this.
No, I agree. I think Ole Miss probably obliterates them. You know what? We might as well throw a score prediction in there. I'm gonna say Vanderbeat wins by 3 scores. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Now, what was the spread again?
So they're a 24.5 point underdog.
24.5.
Yep.
Do you think Ole Miss covers that?
I think they do, honestly. I mean, it is what is that? Like that's 3 touchdowns and a field goal plus.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's a lot when you think about it.
That's a lot. I don't know. It is Vanderbilt, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida beat them 38-14.
I think Ole Miss probably covers that. I think they probably beat them by like 6 touchdowns or something.
Well, dude, I mean, Ole Miss has been putting up some crazy numbers, anyways, against better teams. I mean, they scored 48 on Georgia Tech on September 16th. 2 weeks after that, they play LSU, score 55 in that game. They scored 73 on Mercer.
Jesus.
to open the season. I hope it ain't something like that for Vanderbilt's sake, but I think I'm going to go with a good solid, let's say 48-10.
That sounds pretty good. I like that.
For Vanderbilt. But man, I am so ready for the Florida Georgia game this weekend. I may come back and be extremely depressed. Y'all be praying for me. But I'm going to try to be as hyped as I possibly can be. I mean, Graham Mertz is playing the best football of his career. Murda Mertz. Sorry, let me re-say that. Murda Mertz. This man is on a mission. Dude is balling, playing lights out. We're coming into Jacksonville. We're going to torch Georgia. Go ahead and clip this. No, actually, no. It's time. It's time, baby. Go Gators. Willie, you got anything you want to say?
Just another message from your financial guru. Kansas Jayhawks over Oklahoma. It's done. It's settled. It's scripted. We have the script. Kansas wins.
I
Bet
love
your
it.
house on it. Also, go Cats.
All right, guys, that'll do it for today's episode. Tune in every Wednesday. Come talk some ball with us and hang out. And we'll see you guys next time.